I'll preface this talk with, what did you want to be when you were younger? They say that children are the most honest that human beings can be because they don't truly understand the weight of their words in day-to-day communication. Well, when I was younger, I wanted to be just like Unikitty from the Lego movie. I was obsessed with it when I was younger. I think I went on a round trip to Nepal at about 6 years old, and I just couldn't get enough of it. At that point in my life, everything truly was awesome. But what fascinated me the most was that all of these so different and so unique, quirky characters could all come together for a common purpose, which was to save the world. Children's movies and medias normally have these kind of messages that the hero will get everything that he wants if he follows his heart and follows who he is. Which I think is pretty important for children, as it teaches them that as long as they're happy, anything can happen. Normally, in our grown, boring adult life, we think of happiness as something that is achieved in the long term after achieving a big, long-time goal, such as marriage or a job. But did you know that there's actually a way achievable, way smaller part of this that we can implement in our day-to-day life, in the decisions that we make as people, such as in our routines, in our environment, and in the way that we fulfill our necessities and needs, such as clothing. I think clothing is quite an easy way to implement individuality in your life. It's a necessity, everyone needs it. It's quite easy to customize, and it's really accessible. Think of something that you particularly like. Picture it in your head. Now, why do you like it? Is it because there's a sentimental memory attached to it? Or you like the color or the feeling of it? Or it's comfortable? In the end, all of these things tie to one emotion: happiness. Well, what if you don't know what you like? That's pretty simple. We're born in a world which enforces these norms and all of these expectations in what we should be as people before we're even conceived. Blue for baby boys, pink for baby girls, school uniforms for growing children, and work attire in your adulthood, and so many other dress codes for everything else. It's quite hard to get lost in these things around you. And I'm sure everyone in this room has been told a variation of this phrase. Maybe it's people will like you more, or people will take you more seriously, or people will find you more attractive if you dress in this way, with this brand, or like these people. And I think it's pretty important to take in other people's opinions. We as humans are social beings, but the problem arises when it starts to dictate your life. With social media, this effect is amplified by 10,000. Now everyone on the internet, apart from those around you, are free to scrutinize you and to examine your every move. And in the other direction, you can scroll into other people's lives for hours. And as you scroll and keep scrolling, it seems that there's always one correct way to do things. One correct style of clothing, one correct color palette, one correct body to put them on, and one correct way to be yourself. So, if everyone else is doing it, and if it's so popular, it probably has a reason to be great. So, we'll try it. We'll go online, and then we'll order the exact same clothes that everyone else has. You know, shoes, outfit, all. And then we'll take out the quirks that make it ourselves. And now, congrats! We look like everyone else now. We're now perfectly blending in a unified group, and we're ready to be ignored. It's so easy now. I feel like we could do this with absolutely everything else in our lives. With our nutrients, we don't really need anything else other than a milkshake of avocados, almonds, liver, and some garlic to top it off. Sounds yummy, right? And I think we should go the whole mile. In our accommodations, we normally just need a warm room, a bed, and a place to wash up. So let's do that. Equality for absolutely everyone. Clothes and things like that are just necessities. They just need to keep us warm and keep us modest. So, that being said, would you want to swap clothes with me? What I'm wearing is pretty warm and modest. I'm not hurt. That's fine. But it wouldn't really make you very happy, would it? So, why do we bother to do things such as going to our favorite restaurants or working so hard to achieve our dream homes and the lives that we want to? Well, simply because it makes us happy. I asked a bunch of people around me that I knew what their favorite outfits were. And the first thing I noticed was that their faces immediately lighted up and they started speaking with an animated tone. The first person described to me a fully thrifted outfit full of items that they really liked and got for a quite cheap price. The second person described slippers which were of an animal mascot that they really liked as a child. So they doubled in not only comfort in the physical means, but in the sentimental means too. And the third person talked about a wacky combo. You'll never believe this. A skirt over jeans. Scandalous, I know. But they explained to me that it doubled not only in functionality, but in style too. And to be honest, I didn't understand any of it. It's not really my thing, but in the warmth of their tone and in the way that they said it to me so animatedly that everything around them and their entire demeanor changed, I felt as though, even if it was just for a millisecond, I could completely understand. It's not just the way that you dress, it's the feeling that you bring with it too. People can understand when you're being your most authentic and real self, and they're attracted and appealed to that energy. So, what do I make of this information? What's so useful about it? Why can't we just get happiness through other means? So, we can imagine it like this. Imagine if you're in my place and you're standing on a stage. Your big performance in life is everything that you want to achieve, everything you want to do in the future. Your wardrobe can be treated just like a rehearsal. And in that, it can help you practice for who you want to be in order to execute your big lifetime goals. If your wardrobe becomes the performance for everyone else, what becomes next of your life? And I'm sure you can extract the same happiness from being an individual in other parts of your life. Maybe you like different food. But it doesn't really have the same effect, does it? When you wear different clothing that is true to yourself, then you really force people to look at you, don't you? It's like you're training a muscle to prepare yourself for the big wide world, full of criticism, in which you'll have to make your own decisions, but a lot of people will criticize you for it. If you're able to sacrifice things such as your happiness and your comfort, which are quite basic needs and wants, then what else are you willing to sacrifice in your life? Because we don't reach those early aforementioned goals in one big jump. We reach them in small steps. Today, it could be wearing something that you like, which might not necessarily go with your outfit, but it's you. Tomorrow, it's stating an opinion that's very different from everyone else, but it's yours. And one day, regardless of whatever stage of life you're in, it can be choosing the life that's right for you. Maybe your career, your relationships, your place. What do you want to do? And everything in between. When you can readily make these decisions in your daily life, you're ready to make the next jump in your life. So, you might be looking at me like, okay, so what do I do with this information? I don't like fashion. I don't have time in the mornings. I don't want to be stared at. Ugh. And with that, honest concerns. But in all honesty, you don't need to be the most outrageous, visually loud person in the world to be an individual. You don't have to show up wearing a meat dress to anywhere. In fact, it all just starts with being honest to yourself in who you want to be and how you want to present yourself to the world. But as someone who does kind of like fashion, here is some things from me. You can maybe see one small thing that you like. Maybe start with something such as earrings, a hairstyle, or new socks. With that, try it on. Even if it doesn't match. And how does it feel? Does it feel correct? What are you going to do with this new information? Or, if you're struggling to even pick out what to wear in the morning, try asking yourself a different question. Maybe instead of, what do I want to wear in the morning? You should think, how do I want to feel? Maybe fierce, down to earth, or charming? Pick out one item from your closet that you think fits that feeling, and congrats! One of the most personal parts of you is now on the outside. Your inner self. There is so many things in this world to explore. I cannot tell you how to express your individuality because that's you and not me. But it never hurts to try something new. So, a few years have passed, well, at least 10 minutes, and you're older than you were than before you just saw this presentation. The question has slightly changed. What will you become tomorrow? Are you already happy with who you are in your identity? We take many small steps to become who we want to be. One of them is, what shoes do I want to wear tomorrow? And the other one is, do I live life for myself or for the approval of others? And at face value, one of those questions may seem quite easier to answer than the other. But in retrospect, they're all attributed to the same thing: happiness through self-fulfillment and understanding yourself. And when you learn to skip to the beat of a short-term joy, then you can finally dance to the rhythm of long-term happiness. Make that choice to choose who you want to be and to pave that way for yourself in all of your future endeavors.